Julie Ryan, noted psychic and medical intuitive, is ready to answer your personal questions, even those you never knew you could ask. For more than 25 years, as she developed and refined her intuitive skills, Julie used her knowledge as a successful inventor and businesswoman to help others. Now, she wants to help you to grow, heal, and get the answers you've been longing to hear. Do you have a question for someone who's transitioned? Do you have a medical issue? What about your pet's health or behavior? Perhaps you have a loved one who's close to death and you'd like to know what's happening. Are you on the path to fulfill your life's purpose? No matter where you are in the world, take a journey to the other side and ask Julie Ryan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We have several callers on hold, and we will get to them in just a few minutes. But first, you know what this is. It's the first Thursday of the month, which means we have a winner of a free session with me, valued at $155. I always feel like a game show host when I announce this each month. So our winner this time is someone that goes by the moniker of Positivity Rocks. And she or he says, "Kudos to Julie for doing this work and helping people to breathe easier. Julie is more than amazing. I'm so excited to listen to her podcasts weekly. She is the highlight of my Thursday. May you always be blessed. Sending Julie and her community much love and light." So Positivity Rocks, first of all, thank you for all your kind comments. And secondly, email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, and we will find a date and time when we can spend an hour and we can talk about whatever you want. You know, I am a buffet of psychicness, so we can scan you medically, scan a pet or someone you love. We can, let's see what else. We can talk to deceased loved ones. We can tell how close to death someone is if you have a person close to you who's in the process of dying. We can talk to your spirit guides, your angels. We can do past life stuff. It's really a lot of fun, and any and all of that during the time that we have together. If you'd like to register for the drawing, you just have to do these 3 easy things. And they are: number 1, follow me on Instagram at Ask Julie Ryan. Number 2, leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts at Ask Julie Ryan. And also subscribe while you're there. And then third, sign up for my blog at AskJulieRyan.com. And then you too could be entered into the drawing, and you never know, you may win next month. So Positivity Rocks, shoot me an email and we'll figure out a time to get together. We're talking with Tracy in Raleigh, North Carolina about her daughter Keegan. Tracy, during the break, I looked up the website for Dr. Heyman, and it's, do you have a pen handy? Let me give it to you.
I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's V as in Victor, C as in Charlie, 4, the number 4, H as in happy, W as in white, .com. I think it's something like the Virginia Center for Health and Wellness.com. So VC4HW.com. So check that out. During the break, also what I did was I did a healing on Keegan to remove the mold out of her system. A couple of other suggestions. Get the doctor that's treating her to prescribe nystatin for her, NYSTATIN, nystatin, like New York and Staten Island.
Yes, you've spoken
about
that.
That's an antifungal.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's, I think you've spoken about that for yeast.
I have, because her gut is going to just be a mess from the antibiotics that they're going to have her on. So be sure she's on an antifungal like nystatin. And if they tell you that they don't recommend nystatin because of liver damage, if you Google liver damage nystatin, you will go to several articles published on NIH.org, National Institutes of Health, that debunk that. So there was some bad research done. It's been debunked. Nystatin's been out for 50 years. Millions of people have taken it. It works great. Just stays in the GI tracts. That's number 1. Number 2, email me, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com. I'll send you a link to the gut biome test. I think it would
Yep,
make
I got
sense to
that.
keep
Yep.
her immune system, as robust as you can as she's fighting this.
Okay.
And then lastly, there's a company called Homebiotic. Go to homebiotic.com, like antibiotic for the home. And what it is it is a bacteria that eats mold. And they have a spray that's non-toxic, Tracy, and you can spray it on any surface and it will kill the mold. But more importantly, in your case, they have a home test kit that's very comprehensive. I have found it to be more comprehensive than mold experts coming in, testing stuff. So I think you're going to need to get it remediated because it's obviously
we did remediate it, but I know it seems to be stuck in her.
Yeah, I would still do that test to be sure it's not still there, and because it can make you all really sick. I think it's close to 30% of the population is really susceptible to mold. I happen to be one of them. My husband has no reaction to mold. I walk in a room, I can tell in a second if there's mold in there. So I'm like the canary in the coal mine.
Mold or both?
I think she's got both, but mold is the big issue. It's way more of an issue than the Lyme. Way, way, way more. So that's why I want you to go to vc4hw.com and just Google Andrew Heyman, Heymanmd, and he's been on several podcasts you can listen to. You can download the transcripts. You'll learn a lot. And he treats patients that have been treated for Lyme for years and they haven't gotten better. And he treats them for mold and they get better. So I think that's what you're dealing with Keegan. So you can head off problems at the pass with this.
All right. And how's her concussion doing? Is that healed or not?
She has a concussion. Did she fall? What happened?
We had a car accident.
Oh, geez.
She didn't hit anything, but it seemed like, we don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg, whether it was the Lyme, the mold, or the concussion. I just got the Lyme test back on Thursday. So we've been seeing a functional neurologist, and she was saying she does functional neurology. She's a chiropractor, and she did an extra year for functional neurology. And so we were treating a concussion, but since Dean hasn't gotten well in 3 years, 8 months, she said, let's do the Lyme thing because that could be holding her back from recovering. And Dean's just fatigued all day, every day. Headache.
Yeah.
Can I
you want to get her a SPECT scan, SPECT, SPECT scan, because that's going to show what parts of the brain light up. She does have some scar tissue in her head. I'm removing that. Brain matter, Tracy, looks like thick cooked oatmeal. I know my analogies are crazy, but you know what I'm talking about when I say that, right?
Because we're women and that's how we talk. Don't give me a street name. Give me what's on the corner.
That's right. I don't know Latin, so and scar tissue looks like in the brain. It looks like chicken cartilage, the kind you'd find in a chicken breast, the bone in, that white flexible stuff. So I've scooped it out. I've put some stem cell energy in there in that divot where I've scooped it out. There's a vortex that's formed above it. That's going to regenerate brain matter. Whenever I see scar tissue in the head, I always remove it because it can occlude neural pathways. So it is regenerating right now. Okay, just stopped. Neural pathways lit up. They look like laser beams crisscrossing a room in a museum as part of a security system. You know how you've probably seen it on a movie where they got all those laser beams protecting the paintings and stuff. That's what her neural pathways are. I think she probably is going to need some more help. Lots of omega-3s. Email me. I'm going to shoot you some links on all this stuff that can help. Okay. Thanks for calling.
Great. Thank you. Have a great night, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye. All righty. We've got somebody from a 615 area code. Hi, this is Julie. What's your name? 615's Nashville.
Hey, I'm Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. How are you? Welcome.
Hey, Julie. Thanks for everything that you do in general. We really appreciate you. Me and my husband Walker. But we're actually calling because We've had a really tough past few weeks. Our 14-year-old pug passed away 3 weeks ago, and then on Monday, our Old English Sheepdog Poodle mix, we had to put her down as well from sarcoma. So it was 3 weeks to the day from our pug, and we've had a really tough time. But our breeder just let us know that, you know, the dog that we just put to sleep, that her dad, he's an Old English Sheepdog. He's 7 years old, almost 8 years old. He's available, that he's retiring, and, you know, he's up for adoption. And we're just trying to figure out, is this the right thing for us? You know, we've had so much heartbreak in the past few weeks. We miss having dogs, but we don't know if it's the right time to have him. We also have an 8-month-old son, and COVID's going on, and I'm a teacher, and there's a lot.
Yeah, I would say. Where are you? First of all, Rachel, where are you? Are you in Nashville?
We are in Nashville. Both me and my husband are both from here. We live here. We lived in Seattle for a few years, but we're back home, and here we are.
Okay. I used to live in Brentwood for 5 years, so I know Nashville.
Oh, hilarious.
Well. Yeah. That's how you knew the 615 area code. I used to have it as my phone number.
Well, you know, I went to Alabama, so Roll Tide, and a lot of my friends live in Birmingham, so.
There you go. Just three
we know
hours
the
up the road. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so tell me, what's this dog's name, the dad?
His name is Gino, and he is 7 years old, almost 8 years old. He's an Old English Sheepdog. And our breeder says that he gets along with children and along with other dogs, but he's unneutered right now, and we would definitely, if we got him, we would neuter him. But it's like, we just don't know if he's the right fit for our family. So
let's ask the question to, as my son Jonathan, who's now grown and married, would say when he was little, he'd say, "Mommy, ask the spirits and beyond." So let's ask the spirits and beyond. Is it in Rachel and her family's best interest to adopt Gino, the English sheepdog? He's an English sheepdog poodle mix. I can't even imagine what that looks like.
He's an Old English Sheepdog, and our dog that just passed away on Monday, she was an Old English Sheepdog poodle, and she was beautiful. Okay. She looked a lot like her dad, actually, the Old English Sheepdog.
Yeah. All right. So is it in Rachel's family's best interest to adopt Gino, the Old English Sheepdog, after he's neutered? Make the breeder neuter him. Get him neutered. You don't need to be dealing with that with a baby. You know, I mean, you got enough on your plate, so that would be part of the deal. That's what I'm getting.
Right.
Have the breeder neuter him. Yeah. So will he be a good fit with their family? Yes, you'll love him. I get he's like a big teddy bear mop. You know, like those sheepdogs are like mops.
He looks like a teddy bear mop.
Yeah. His personality is a teddy bear, but you want to get them to neuter him and deal with that and make sure he's recovered and then bring him home to your house. So I get a yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
Okay. Is there anything else you get from, our dogs? From, we let our girl Dolly go this week. She was only 4.5. And then our pug Toby, we let him go 3 weeks ago to the day that we let Dolly go. So is there anything you get from them?
Mm-hmm. They're both with you. Their spirits are with you. I get that you feel like you hear them. You hear their nails in your house, like on the floor.
I definitely hear their nails and even some of their noises.
Yes. So that's them letting you know that they're around you. Yeah, that's
do you think that they're together or?
Absolutely. Especially when they're with you, when they're in your home.
Oh.
Yeah, they're around you all the time. And so Toby was really attached to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang with me, Rachel.
Years.
We're going to need to take a break, and when we come back, I will pick you back up. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and we were talking with Rachel in Nashville. I guess we lost her during the break, but yes, Rachel, get the dog Gino. Just be sure he's neutered first. We do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-775-7035, and the access code is 483620#. This information is available on my website at AskJulieRyan.com and in the show notes. You can download the show anywhere you get your podcasts, and we're also on YouTube and Alexa. Please remember to subscribe and leave a review. When I started doing this show on the radio, I lost all my subscribers and all my reviews, you guys. So I need you to help. Leave me a 5-star rating and a review. And plus, that'll qualify you if you follow me on Instagram and get my blog. That'll qualify you for a free session with me. So you want to do that anyways. Call-in details can also be found on Instagram and Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. And I always post a reminder to call in the day of the show. So check Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Ask Julie Ryan. And while you're on AskJulieRyan.com, be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. It's a question someone has submitted online, and along with my answer. And while you're there, you can also schedule an appointment with me. Then we'll have a whole hour to talk about whatever you wish. And I know I'm scheduled out for a couple of months, but go ahead and get on my calendar. And then when you get your confirmation email, you'll see a button that says reschedule at the bottom of the email. And you can click on that whenever you think about it. And people reschedule all the time. And that's how you'll see if something has become available that is on a suitor date and time. So basically everything you need to know can be found at AskJulieRyan.com. All right, this week we got a question from Siobhan, and she lives in Galway, Ireland, and she said, "Hi Julie, we are your ordinary average family with 2 teenage sons, and we've been receiving anonymous and abusive letters over the past year. In all, 30 handwritten letters have been received and posted to our workplaces and home. The letters started in January 2020 and have continued since. These letters accuse my husband of stealing money, sexual harassment in the workplace, and of having numerous affairs. They also accuse our eldest son of taking and dealing drugs. The letters claim we were being watched and going and leaving work, have commented on my weight, and have gotten very personal in a nasty way. The letters contained a lot of information about us that only someone who knows us really, really well would have known. The person sending the letters is obviously incredibly unwell and looking for us to lose our jobs and to break up our family unit. The local police are trying to help us, but at the time of writing this email have come up with nothing. Can you shine some light on our situation? This has been the most horrendous 8 months of our lives. Thanks, Siobhan." And here's my response. Hi, Siobhan. Wow, I can't even imagine the nightmare you and your family have experienced since the first of the year. When asking Spirit for information about the person sending these threatening letters, I get, that means information came into my head, I quote, get, it's a woman, perhaps named Margaret, who works with your husband. Also, I get, again in quotes, she obviously has emotional problems and unbeknownst to him has, quote, feelings for your husband. And so somebody just joined us, so I'm going to mute you. I will come back to you. Okay. She obviously has feelings for your husband. Let's see if I can mute you. There we go. Okay. And, well, that didn't work. Let me try it one more time. There we go. I also get, she obviously has emotional problems and unbeknownst to him has feelings for your husband. The old saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, from the play The Morning Bride, that dated in 1697, how do you like that, seems to apply in your situation. You mentioned your local police hadn't been able to solve this crime, so it may be time to involve the Special Detective Unit of the Garda Síochána, and I probably butchered that, which is also known as the Guards, which is the National Police Service of the Republic of Ireland. That's like our FBI. I had to look that one up because I didn't know what that was called, but that would be the equivalent of the American FBI. I went on to say, it seems to me since the letters are being sent through the mail and are terrorizing you and your family, federal law enforcement needs to be called. They would certainly have more resources than your local police. In the meantime, it's important to remember no one can create in our world unless we let them, because no one can control our thoughts. Terrorism is designed to create fear, and make no mistake, the person sending these letters is a terrorist. A simple way to help you combat fear is to use a technique I call the 2-minute rule. Here's how it works. When you're feeling any kind of negative emotion, anger, fear, stress, depression, etc., ask yourself if the current situation will kill you in the next 2 minutes. If it will, change the conditions. Like if you're standing in the middle of the road and there's a truck heading towards you, get out of the road. If, however, the answer to the question is no, whatever is happening is not going to kill you in the next 2 minutes, it means your fear is irrational and therefore false. Letting your brain know if fear is false will immediately help you feel some relief and lessen your fear. Use the 2-minute rule as many times a day as you need. It works great and it's free. I always say the 2-minute rule is great because it's convenient. It works wherever your brain is, and your brain's usually with you wherever you are, and it's free. I mean, double benefit. Hope this information provides some comfort to you and your family as you discover and eventually prosecute this mystery letter sender. I can't even imagine what's going on here. I did get an email this afternoon from Siobhan, and she told me that there is a woman who they call Trish, who's adopted, and her birth name is Margaret Mary. So stay tuned. I'll let you know what's happening there. But my feeling is I would go to the feds on this, the law enforcement. You may even want to, I told her she may even want to hire a private detective, but that sounded awful to me. So hopefully that will help, and hopefully they can get to the bottom of what's going on here. All right, let's go to the next caller, and I believe it's Christine. Hi, Christine. Are you there?
Hi, yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm terrific, thanks. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the Bay Area.
Okay, terrific.
And,
you got a question for me?
I'm just so happy for your new show. I think it's so exciting.
Oh, thanks. Christine, stay with me. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to the Ask Julie Ryan show. I'm Julie, your host, and we're talking with Christine in the San Francisco Bay Area. So, Christine, did you have a question for me?
Actually, yes, I do. I do have a scheduled appointment on the 8th of October, and I didn't realize that you could move those out. So I'll go back out and look at it again.
Wonderful. Is this Susie?
On the 20th.
You sound like my Susie. Is this Susie? You sound like Susie in the Bay Area.
No, it's Melba.
Oh, interesting. You have a twin, my girl. You have a twin. I'm thinking maybe it just was showing up a different name on my dashboard. Oh my gosh. Same area code and everything. Okay. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, you've got an an appointment on the 8th of October. Yay! I'll look forward to having you for a whole hour. We can talk about whatever you want.
Okay. All right. I wondered if you could tell what happened to me on the 27th of June. I was at a family pool party, and I was in the hot tub and the pool, but I lost my memory. It was probably around dinner time. So everybody had to tell me what I said during the evening for about 5 or 6 hours.
Huh.
And I had an out-of-body experience where I saw myself by the front door, and then I saw just tunnel visions of a couple people that were at the party. But other than that, I have no memory.
Wow.
It did take at least a couple of weeks afterwards for my body, my stomach, and my body, my mind to feel normal again. Mm-hmm. I just wondered what happened.
Mm-hmm. What I'm doing is a kind of an instant replay, when you're watching a football game and they'll do an instant replay on a touchdown or something that somebody scores. What I'm seeing is, to your point, an out-of-body experience. What I'm getting is that you had a TIA, which is like a little mini neurological thing going on. Have you been to see a neurologist over this?
Yes, I have.
What
I
did,
just
and
had
what did
an
they
EEG
say?
this morning, but it was. I know it wasn't anything to do with alcohol, because it took me a whole week afterwards, 2 weeks afterwards, to really feel like I was normal again.
You had, that's what I'm getting. You had what's known as a TIA, which is kind of like a little teeny, it's not a stroke, but it's a mini neurological event that can happen like that. And so you were kind of in this reality and in a different reality at the same time. I don't think you were dying, but I think that's what was going on. So we'll do a really big deep dive when I have you in October and find out what's going on. Hopefully you can move the appointment up. People reschedule all the time, Christine, so be sure and check on that reschedule button.
In a TIA, is there anything that happens to the brain, or is there a mark or something that you know that you have that? Or
it can cause some scar tissue. It's like a little, sometimes it can be a little brain bleed. Did they do an MRI or a CT scan or anything on you, or a SPECT scan?
Well, they said that there was a brain bleed hemorrhage. They call it like a raspberry, but they said that it was not recent.
Okay. Well, let me look at your brain real fast. I'm connecting to you in the Bay Area, and I'm going in. I can usually see brain bleeds because they look like when you get a wound and it kind of clots up, and it's not healed with a scab yet, but especially if it's got blood on it and it's just kind of clotty. That's a medical term, it's just kind of clotty. I'm kidding, of course. All right, so I'm in there. I can see a couple of areas that look like that, but they're all clotted up now. So by the time I get to talk to you, that will have formed some scar tissue, and we'll do that scar tissue removal in there. But I don't see any current brain bleeds. What did your neurologist say? What do they have you doing?
Well, she just put syncope, which means just fainting, but she hasn't made a diagnosis until after the EEG, which I took today.
So she didn't have the results back. They didn't tell you right away. The one thing I do know, if you Google bulletproof.com, Bulletproof coffee, you probably know about that. Bulletproof coffee, bulletproof products. And bulletproof.com, and look into concussions and brain bleeds. And they've got protocols with their podcast. They've had several neurology specialists on there. And I know one of the things that they recommend is high doses of omega-3s to help the brain heal. But if you Google that, Christine, that's going to help you find some protocols that will get you better quicker. But yeah, you had a neurological event. I believe it was a TIA.
Okay. Wonderful.
Well, I'll look forward to talking to you soon, and I hope you feel better.
Thanks so much, Julie.
You bet. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, let's go to Denise next. Hi, Denise.
Hello.
Hi, Denise.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Okay.
Terrific. Where are you calling us from?
Jackson, New Jersey.
Okay. Terrific. You got a question for me?
Yes, I do. I'd like to do a body scan.
Yeah. What's going on?
Having a lot of pain on my left side, under my breastbone and towards my back.
Okay.
I also have lupus too.
Okay. All right. Let me see what's going on. Here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama. Heading up to you in Jersey. All right, got you.
Well, we just
Shooting
had
energy.
a storm and we lost power. I had no power for 30 hours, so.
Oh, do you have it back now?
Yeah, we got it back yesterday. Thank God.
Good. Good. Yeah, gets a little toasty this time of year without any air conditioning, right?
Oh,
Oh my gosh. All right, got you on my radar. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. I'm seeing a little bit of disc degeneration on the left side in the back, and your vertebrae are starting to collapse a little bit. Has anybody told you anything about disc degeneration?
No.
Okay. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm propping up the vertebrae. You got 2 vertebrae that are in play. Those little spacers that tile masons use when they're laying tile on a floor or a countertop, they use these little spacers in between the tiles before they pour the grout in there. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like these little spacers to prop up your vertebrae. And then I'm using stem cell energy, Denise, at the end of those discs, just a glob of it. This is going to regenerate new disc material. And there's a vortex that's formed above the 2 of them. Imagine a funnel cloud like a tornado, and it circulates very fast. And then there's this little netting that gets put on the end of the vertebrae to hold the disc in place once it's regenerated. What I'm watching with this stem cell energy healing, and it is the coolest stuff, Denise, because it will heal whatever we need. It'll regenerate whatever body part we need. It's what our bodies do every day when we regenerate new cells. We generate hundreds of thousands of cells in a day, and every cell has a nucleus. The nucleus is surrounded by cytoplasm, which is a watery gel. Our bodies act as little mini nuclear reactors, and the energy spins, and that's what causes cells to divide and replicate. So that's what I'm watching in warp speed with you. I also just watched a chiropractic adjustment happen. Do you see a chiropractor, Denise?
I used to a while ago, but I haven't recently.
I would go get a tune-up, see if that'll help.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Nothing else you see, though, or anything?
I'm seeing it's skeletal. Yeah. I think it's
pain,
skeletal.
All like back pain or side pain. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also,
skeletal.
I have another question. Just about my parents. They died 21 years ago and 13 years ago, and I was just wondering if there's any, they're watching over me and my family.
Absolutely. They're with you all the time. How you know is when you're doing something like you're cooking dinner or folding laundry, and all of a sudden your mom or your dad comes into your head just randomly. That's them letting you know they're with you. And if you ever want to talk to them, you just think of them. Every spirit has a frequency that stays with them throughout all their lifetimes. And so what you do is you just think of them. That tunes your satellite dish head to their frequency, kind of like tuning a radio station in. You just ask them a question, Denise, and then the first thing that comes in your mind will be them answering you. It's going to come in within a second. If you think about it for more than a couple of seconds, that's going to be your brain talking to you. And the thing to remember is spirits are really literal. So be very specific about the questions that you ask them, especially if you're looking for guidance. So you can talk to them anytime. They're around you all the time.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling in. I hope you feel better.
Well,
Bye.
Thank you so much.
You're
all
welcome.
Right.
Bye.
Bye, Julie.
All right. Let's go to somebody in the 916 area code. Hi, this is Julie. Who's this?
This is Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. How are you?
How are you? I'm great.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm calling from San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay.
Even though I have a Sacramento number.
Yes, you do.
Anyways, I was wondering if you could do a scan. I have not been feeling well. I just have really low energy.
Hang with me. We're going to go to a break, and I'll pick you up on the other side of the break. Everybody, you're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. Stay with us. We'll be back right after the break. Welcome back to the Ask Julie Ryan show. I'm Julie, your host, and we're talking with Nicole in the San Francisco Bay Area. Hi, Nicole. Thanks for hanging in there with us. You were saying you're not feeling well. What's going on?
No, and I've had I notice I don't fall asleep till like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I just don't have the energy to get up until like 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm wondering if my cortisol levels are off or something like that.
Okay. How young are you?
38.
Yeah, young. All right. What are you doing before you're trying to go to bed? Are you watching TV or on your computer or reading your
No,
Kindle
I've
or on
tried
your
reading
phone?
and not having screen time for 2 hours prior. I've
Yeah.
gone for, half-hour walks. I've taken baths. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay. All right. Let me get you on my radar and we'll see if there's anything physical going on. In the meantime, have you read Ariana Huffington's book on sleep?
No, I have not.
It's really good. Ariana
Okay.
Huffington, of the Huffington Post. You can get it on Amazon or anywhere. It's really, really good. That's
I'm
number
familiar
one.
with
Number
it.
two, there's this breathing have you heard of Dr. Andrew Weil? He's down
Yes.
in Tucson. He's kind of a wellness guy. He's a medical doctor. He does this 4-7-8 breathing. Have you ever heard of that?
No, but I was just reading about that breathing book last night online.
Yeah, let me teach
probably not the
you
same,
the 4-7-8 breathing works great.
Okay.
So what you do is you breathe in and you breathe in to count of 4. You'll hold it for 7 and then you breathe out through your mouth to a count of 8. So breathe in for 4, hold it for 7, breathe out to a count of 8. And you can do that 4 times in a row, work up to 8 times in a row, and that works great. I do that every night as I'm falling asleep, and then I count them on my fingers. I do 8 of them on my fingers, and then I do my gratitude. Who I'm grateful for, my husband, my son, my daughter-in-law, all of that on my fingers too, and it really helps relax me, and I've taught that to a lot of people. So try the 4-7-8 breathing technique. That's the second thing. And let me get you on my radar and see what's going on, if there's anything happening. A lot of the time it's a hormone thing that's happening. So your hormones look okay. You look all right. I'm looking in particular at your thyroid. I'm going to jumpstart it a little bit. I'm going to give it a little bit of a tune-up. It looks like it's a little sluggy, and that may have something to do with it. But I would try the 4-7-8 breathing, get Ariana Huffington's book, and no screen time for 2 hours before you're going to bed. Try that and see if that helps. Is your room pitch black? Do you have any light in your room?
Well, and I have a sleep mask. I've slept with that too. So
Okay. Well, you got that covered.
I've done magnesium. I've done Epsom salt.
Do you
all
ground
kinds of
yourself
things.
ever? Do you
Pardon me?
ground yourself? Go out barefoot and stand in the grass or stand on cement?
I actually sleep on an electrical mat, and
Perfect.
I
you're
have
doing
the
everything right.
pillow also, and I just I have no energy even throughout the day. So I've been using that for about a solid month.
Mm-hmm.
The grounding mat, I bought it from Earthing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
that's
been using that
terrific.
for a month.
I think you may have a little bit of a thyroid thing going on. So I would try these other things, and if those don't help, I would go find a functional medicine doctor who knows how to treat that stuff. And if they want you to go on thyroid medicine, you want to go on bioidentical thyroid medicine, because that's exactly what our bodies manufacture when we're young and fertile. And all our hormones, you're still young and fertile, and all our hormones are kicking. So I would try that. So call a compounding pharmacy in your area. Ask who's prescribing thyroid medicine, bioidentical. Put your zip code in, and they'll give you a list of doctors, and you can find a doctor that way. That would be really good. But I would try those other things first.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for calling. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's go to Tara next. Hi, Tara.
Hi,
Is this Tara or Tara? How do you pronounce your name?
Tara.
Tara. All right. Tara, like Gone with the Wind.
Yes, it could be.
Yeah. Well, you got a question for me?
Yes, I have also been having sleep challenges.
Oh, my.
And it happened with a lot of specific work stress 3 years ago, and it just took a while to kind of get back, to have things get better. But it's never really gotten fully better, and I don't know, with the stress of life, it just, I don't know. I can fall asleep fine. I just can't stay asleep. I wake up, and so I just wondered about that. And I also experience forgetfulness. I'm not sure if it's brain fog, but like I don't put the lids on things and just weird random things that I'm like, this is not how I usually have been. So I've just been having a hard time with how bad the sleep is, that I just don't feel like I can. If this keeps happening, I'm scared. I'm worried.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, so where are you calling from, Tara?
San Francisco.
Oh my gosh, this is like San Francisco night here on my show. You got like 5 people from San Francisco. All right, so what I just talked to Nicole about, all those things pertain to you.
Yeah.
You know, no screen time. Don't be drinking alcohol before you're trying to go to bed, because alcohol, people think, oh, alcohol makes me sleep. Well, yeah, it helps you fall asleep, but then you can't sleep through the night. So avoid alcohol as much as you can, and ground. 478 breathing, Ariana Huffington. Check out her book. Let me get you on my radar real fast and see if I see anything going on. How young are you, Tara?
50.
Okay. So are you on hormones?
No.
No. All right. I'm shooting energetic estrogen into you. What I was just telling Nicole, get in touch with a compounding pharmacy in your area, put in your zip code, and see what doctors or what pharmacies come up. Call them, say who's doing bioidentical hormones, and go see somebody. That's what's going on.
Okay, because I've
super easy
had
to fix.
the labs done for my hormones, and everything seems okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay for a 50-year-old. You want it to be okay for a 30-year-old.
I just thought that I would, if there was something. Okay.
Yeah. Most doctors aren't familiar with the bioidentical hormones. You got to go to somebody that's trained in it. And we want our hormones to be what they were like when we were Nicole's age in our 30s. And then that's going to help you sleep through the night. That's one of the symptoms of of hormone issues. So I would check that out. Thanks for calling. We are out of time this week. Everybody, thanks for listening. For those that called in, thanks so much for taking the time to join us. And follow me on AskJulieRyan.com, Ask Julie Ryan on all the social media, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye now.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan, and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.